So yeah, it comes and goes for sure.
Just have to always be on your toes. And
Yeah, my best advice is to be in shape for
Yes, you know, speaking of advice, if someone's looking to get into it, so like I've mentioned a couple of times, obviously Austin is blowing up in the jiu-jitsu grappling scene, and I have a feeling more and more people are going to be interested in it and checking it out, and that's kind of what I'm hoping to do with the show. And so if there's people that are considering getting into it or even just going to a class or wanting to compete and learn, like what are some tips that you would give beginners, you know, even like myself, someone that, like, let's say go into it completely blind?
I would say if you're beginners that are looking to be just hobbyists, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. If you're looking to be a hobbyist, I would say just try to do it consistently, right? Try to avoid doing it, 5 or 6 times a week initially, because then you'll be like so sore and you're like, I can't deal with this, right? Yeah. Maybe try to do it every day, every other day or so. 3-4 times a week is great. I think people tend to overdo it when they initially start, so it's just too much for them. Yeah. Especially if somebody's not accustomed to working out and your body's completely exhausted. So maybe 2-3 times a week is good to initially start, and learn that it takes time. Knowledge is power, right? And know that the more that you learn, the more you know, and it'll benefit you, regardless of the size of your opponent. And I think jiu-jitsu is something that can benefit you in life, right? I think doing hard things, dealing with difficult situations, getting pinned on your back and having to fight your way out just makes dealing with the issue that you have at your office job, a little bit easier.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It can make life easier. People don't understand that overcoming those challenges translates into the real world. And so what is like a typical class, would you say? So if someone's, for me, a lot of the fear of the unknown is just not knowing what to expect when you get there. So like when someone shows up to a class, what is it usually like?
It's probably 45 an hour of instruction, sometimes an hour and a half, and then you're doing like 40 minutes of live. For B team, we keep it kind of short. We understand people don't have like the long attention spans, right? Mm-hmm. So we do like 30 to 45 minutes of technique, cut it off there, and then we do like another 40-50 minutes of live. Mm-hmm. And we do that, pretty consistently. Yeah. It's not uncommon for us to train like 70, 80, 90 days in a row without any rest days. You're including Monday, Sunday, all that stuff. So like when they get there, there's probably like a warm-up period, and then it's going over certain technique and moves. I would say most academies usually do like 20-minute warm-up or something like that, but we don't really warm up at B team. We just start going into the techniques. If you want to warm up, you can come early, but yeah, we just like to keep you guys learning, because the drilling, if you're drilling jiu-jitsu, it's not going to be crazy fast-paced. Like when you warm up, a lot of times in wrestling you'll have good warm-ups, because once you start moving, you're moving fast, you're moving a lot, you're moving weight and whatnot. But for jiu-jitsu, it's usually the technique's time-consuming, so you're taking your time with it. It's not really necessary to get super hyped before that.
Yeah, especially as a beginner, like you don't need to be going 100% in. And so, is there anything that they have to wear? Like I know some people wear the rash guards, and
it's best to wear.
You don't.
Yeah, no. I
usually go shirtless.
Yeah, I usually go shirtless and with shorts on, but. I think the rash guard helps if you have good technique. Like it gives you a little bit more friction, so you can stick to your opponent better. So if you're going for the sub, like a lot of times if I'm competing and I feel like I'm gonna sub this guy, I'll put a rash guard on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you have elusivity on your side as well if you're shirtless. But I think when you're just practicing, the preference is rash guard and some board shorts. Try to avoid like zippers and stuff like that or shorts. But yeah, you can wear a regular t-shirt. The only thing it gets caught up in fingers and knees and stuff like that. So it's kind of not as best.
Yeah, I used to wear long sleeve shirts when I wrestled, and we would tape our wrists. We would tape the clothes to our wrist. And then what about shoes or anything? You just go barefoot?
Yeah, I go barefoot. I mean, you could wear shoes if you want, but it's easy to get heel hooked like that. There's a lot of friction down there.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to wear that. Because I think I am gonna go do that stuff with maybe even you this weekend.
We'll
shoot that
swing on by.
That pilot. That'll be fun. So